The Wooden Bowl, El Bowl de Madera, by Ramona Moreno Winner. Before my grandfather came to live with us, I was the one who would get blamed for leaving the toilet seat up, for scattering crumbs around the table when I ate, and for emitting loud sounds that make the air smelly. But since grandfather came, I now have a friend and partner in crime. Grandfather is very old. His hands tremble a lot, and he can't see very well. He moves kind of slow, and he can't hurry to dinner like I can when Mom calls out. I try not to notice, but he sometimes spills his milk on the tablecloth when he reaches for his glass, and his spoon shakes so hard in his hand that food drops around his plate and onto the floor. He says it's because his hands don't want to listen to him anymore. I know he doesn't do these things on purpose, because this happens to me sometimes too. When Mom and Dad get this awful look on their faces, I just want to hide. I bet grandfather feels the same way. One evening, I noticed a small table set in the corner of our dining room. When we came for dinner, Dad put grandfather at the small table where grandfather sat and ate dinner alone. Mom and Dad would look over his table whenever they heard his fork fall or his glass tip over or a plate break. Although they would help him, they would huff a lot and say things like, "Now what?" I sat there in my own seat looking at grandfather while his eyes filled with tears. I felt so bad because I knew he didn't do these things intentionally. They just happened. One day at dinner, I saw Mom serve grandfather his dinner in a large wooden bowl. I asked, "Why is grandfather eating out of a big bowl? Why can't he eat at the table with us?" Dad said it was because he was messy and broke too many dishes. I felt very bad for grandfather. I would hate my food to run all together in a big bowl. The next day, when my parents went out after dinner, I found some long wood thin scraps in the garage, and I brought them into the living room along with a glue stick and tape. I began forming them into round circles, thinking I would glue them together. Later, when Mom and Dad came home, Mom asked, "What are you making, Diego?" I said, "I'm making wooden bowls for you and Dad to eat your food when I grow up." As I looked into their faces, they were without words. Tears streamed down their cheeks. Although no words were spoken, both Mom and Dad knew what they must do. They would never want to be treated as they were treating grandfather. The next evening at dinner, Dad led grandfather by his hand and sat him next to me at the dinner table where he has joined us ever since. When grandfather spills something or drops something, we all just pick it up and go on with dinner. I don't mind helping grandfather, because when you love someone, you want to help them, not hurt them. At the back of the book, you will find lesson plans and picture frames where you can gift this book to a loved one. Thank you for allowing me to share my book with you. You can order your copies at brainstorm3000.com.